What is up, Dick Mel? And there is this crazy story that people have been sending me, and it's actually trending on YouTube. I figured we can watch it together. Trending number 3, 9 children hidden for years in Oklahoma home after police get a tip. Now, I haven't watched the video yet. We're going to watch it together. A man had multiple children with his stepdaughter. A family of 11 lived in a yellow house. Mom, dad, and 9 children who were hidden away from the world. The children never had been to school, a doctor's office, or even a movie theater in order to conceal a secret of the dad's relationship with his stepdaughter. At 12 years old, their oldest sister had their first baby with their dad. I mean, bruh, let's check it out. And this is in Oklahoma City.
Tonight, we are hearing for the first time from the adult children on life behind those closed doors, as well as the hero who would turn him in.
This cul-de-sac in southeastern Oklahoma City looks like any other. But inside this yellow house was a man with a secret.
It just took someone paying attention. And believe it or not, he was telling on himself every single day.
Ooh.
No one listened.
A family of 11 lived here. Mom,
Damn, what, they got toilets in the front yard?
Every single day. No one listened.
a family of 11 lived here. Mom, dad, and 9 children, hidden away from the world.
They never left the house only with him.
The children had never been to school.
What? Look at how trash. I don't know if this is the front or the back. This makes me think a little bit almost like Ruby Frankie, a little bit, that like all these people or like these neighbors had thought there was something sus going on. Everyone is just breathing a collective sigh of relief because we thought they were going to come out of that house with body bags. Just made me flash back to Ruby.
Or even a movie theater, all to conceal a secret they never knew was wrong. Their dad's relationship with their stepsister.
Did you know that the younger kids were your dad's kids too?
That I already knew about. I never knew that it was anything wrong with it.
We just grew up like if it was normal to us.
At 12 years old, their oldest sister had her first baby with their dad, according to court documents.
Underage when she conceived some of the children, and because of this, they are hidden in the home. DC was very protective of the children and did not allow them to see people, so isolation. It also said that court documents said that the children had poor hygiene, foul odor, lack of dental care, and were sleeping on one heavily soiled mattress on the floor. And investigators said that 2 of the children were nonverbal, which you can kind of almost hear when this girl's talking here. Well, not nonverbal, but like, you know, she definitely hasn't been to school. She actually speaks pretty well, I guess, probably for not going to school.
To 4 more inside this home. KOCO sat down with 3 of the siblings who wanted to share their story.
So when she had her first baby, you were just little.
Yeah, I think I was 7 or 8.
Did you ever question why you guys weren't allowed to leave the house more?
Not too much, because Dad always said that he didn't want us to get hurt, or because he protected us because of the people that are outside.
But that would all change.
I was looking for someone to paint the ceilings, and he answered the ad.
Doris Cole hired the father in 2017 as a contractor. She was opening several businesses at 10th and May.
They looked really crazy every day. The clothes, from the clothes that they wore, from the smell.
He started taking 2 of his teenage daughters to work, and Doris picked up on something she couldn't let go.
They couldn't read, they couldn't write.
He tried to homeschool us, and then they went from trying to not doing.
And the speech was really bad. When I first met her, I thought she had an accent.
She would question the family's homeschooling, the father's persistent phone alerts, and the van packed full of food and clothing. But there was nothing overtly wrong.
Every day it was driving me insane because there's nothing I could do about it. It was nothing I had to tell the cops.
Until she met the stepdaughter.
The first time I met her was in the hallway, and I said, man, that girl looked like she just had a child. She was young. And he was looking at her as if she was some sort of candy. I started putting stuff together. I said, okay, maybe those kids are hers and his.
The family became distant, Doris believes it was because she was asking too many questions, but they came back 2 years later looking for work.
Now this time I said, okay, I'm not letting this guy get away.
So it's from 2017, I guess, when he hired her to do some stuff, and then they distanced themselves. And now again, they hire her back, 2 years after? So 18, 19?
Later looking for work. Questions, but they came back 2 years later looking for work.
Now this time I said,
Well, I don't know how long she was with him in 2017, so it could be actually longer than that. But
okay, I'm not letting this guy get away until I figure out what's going on.
And this time, the father told her the truth.
He said, well, this is not my daughter, just one of the kids. This is my lover, and that's my wife. I said, what?
After 7 years, Doris had the proof she needed.
I seen him kissing her, and I said,
7 years. Holy moly.
you know what, this is it. I called
And so the guy's making out with the 12, was she 12 at the time?
Proof she needed.
I seen him kissing her, and I said, you know what, this is it. I called the police.
Detectives began interviewing the family. Worried he would take them and run, Doris let them stay in one of her homes as she worked with police without the family knowing. And on September 21st, police surrounded the home, but Dad wasn't there.
They'd asked me if I knew where he was, and I said, well, he's at his other house. He said he was coming back. And so I called him, and I said, hey, you know, the police are at the house. He's like, did they see the kids?
What was the feeling inside of your house?
I was hurt because my dad took forever to come.
The adult kids were left alone with their secret siblings, waiting for their dad to face up to the crime.
I'm amazed, at the same time amazed and shocked that I'm looking at this entire family I've never seen before. I've seen bits and pieces, and the condition that the little ones were in. I never imagined.
Court documents reveal the kids had poor hygiene, foul odor, lack of dental care, and were sleeping on one heavily soiled mattress on the floor.
So it says here you have 5 children, KB5, DB6, 8 and 9, 13 and 14 appear to have poor hygiene, foul odor, like I said earlier. Those sleeping quarters for the individuals, there was only one heavily soiled mattress, as I read earlier. I mean, I can't even. The children were evaluated at the residence by a forensic interviewer. She advised that 2 of the children, TJB and DB, were nonverbal and cannot communicate, so she was unable to interview them. Wow.
Investigators say 2 of the children were nonverbal. After 3 hours, Dad finally showed up.
Look at this guy.
I stood there on the porch. I didn't get to see his face up front, but I saw him from the porch. That was one of the most satisfying days probably in my life, to watch him go get in the police car.
All right, take a seat for me.
Both Mom and Dad were arrested.
Both see her also as a victim. Do you see that too?
Now, yes.
You don't think she should be arrested?
No.
That part right there kind of confused me a little bit. I had to listen to it multiple times. So I'm assuming they're talking about the wife, where she goes, both see her as a victim, and like, do you agree with this? And that, I don't know who she's talking to. That person says, now, yes. And then asked, you don't think she should be arrested? He said no. So I guess that person feels the wife shouldn't be arrested. She was a victim herself.
Both Mom and Dad were arrested.
Both see her also as a victim. Do you see that too?
Now, yes.
You don't think she should be arrested?
No.
And I think it's pretty safe to assume, I think they're just using words interchangeably, mom, because there's technically 2 moms, but they're talking about the suspect, which is the father, and the wife. Okay. And it's going to get crazy. Wait to hear more details. So I want you guys to comment down below. Should this woman have been arrested? Whoever this person on the news was interviewing said that they don't believe the wife shouldn't have been arrested. that she's also a victim. Also, when they say both, who's they both? So they talk about the wife and the father. So did the perpetrator say as well that she's a victim as well? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things about this we don't know. During the interview, TB said Blank had touched her chest multiple times with his hands because he's a doctor, and also touched her privacy. Oh man, which she used to describe as her area.
Investigators
Arrested.
No.
Court documents reveal a child told forensic investigators her dad had touched her privacy because he was a doctor.
No, I never thought that Dad would touch us or say anything to us, so I never worried about it.
How did you watch that? How did you hold your daughter's hand while she's having a baby by your husband?
I can't hate him because he is a strong boy.
I'm just like still trying to even process.
How did you watch that? How did you hold your daughter's hand while she's having a baby by your husband?
I can't hate him.
Hold your daughter's hand. Oh, so the mother. Okay, I'm all like, wow. The mother of the stepchild was, complicit in all this. And literally, I was just trying to like wrap my mind around this. Literally, the mother of the child, the underage girl that's impregnated by the stepdad, is here holding her hand through this process.
And because he is a strong boy, I could only forgive them. I could only forgive my dad. And I could leave the rest of it into God's hands.
Today, the adult kids still live in Doris's home and work for her. They're now enrolled in school.
I'm doing better on my reading. So I read a book yesterday.
Have their first IDs, are learning how to drive, and working to get their sister's children back to her from state custody.
You have a 26-year-old that can't read, can't write. How does she teach her kids that can't read or write how to write?
Now, looking back, do you feel grateful that Doris intervened?
Yes. Because she was helping us out.
It's just hard because I was the one that did it, but I'm also the one that's taking care of it.
Now, Doris hopes the community can wrap around this family and lift them up as they navigate life for the very first time.
So I'm hoping that that if there's anybody that wants to help, that it's a genuine help. I mean, they've already been lied to and hurt their entire lives. So I'm hoping that their journey in this world and the people that run into them would remember that.
Thank you for the people that sent me that story. Wild, almost inconceivable to even think that kind of stuff is going on in a house. And as far as the neighbors thing too, I just think about like, I honestly don't know what my neighbors are doing. Now, when I lived in like an area where it was like houses, right now I'm in an apartment, right? There's a lot of apartments in the building. When I was in a house area, I actually was more aware of my neighbors, and I'm not that kind of person that's like that. I'm really not into that. There's some people that their whole life revolves around looking at their neighbors and looking out the window and, whatever. But casually, I'd say hi to people. You see the kids sometimes, kind of stuff like that, and so in certain situations, I can see how stuff would go unheard for a long time. And you're afraid they're going to run off with the kids and that kind of stuff. There was that one snippet of a neighbor that described somewhat what like they saw, but of course you didn't see their face. And the real hero for sure is Doris, the business owner that was hired to work and do some work at the house for this guy when she started seeing all these horrendous things going on. And also the forgiveness aspect where it said like one of the victims forgives, I believe, the father. I don't know if it was just the mother or whatever, which, the Boy in the Box trial, Ronan was a boy that had a father that locked him in an 8x8 box or container or room where he wasn't really allowed to use the restroom, was given a bucket and all this stuff. The trial happened. The father was found guilty and Ronan forgave him. He and during the victim impact statements, and a lot of people, I guess it's not like an uncommon thing. That's your parent. You don't know anything other than that. I don't know. I guess maybe Stockholm syndrome. This is how you grew up. And so it's interesting to see that in these other cases as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and take care of yourselves. Peace.